At exactly 12:14 a.m., inside a secret underground bunker, red warning lights suddenly turned on. Missile launch. Alarms screamed. According to the computer, the United States had just fired a nuclear weapon at the Soviet Union, and one man had only 13 minutes to decide if humanity would survive or be completely erased. Setup. The world on the edge. The year was 1983. The Cold War was at its most dangerous point in history. The US and the Soviet Union had enough nuclear weapons to destroy the planet many times over. Both sides lived with one terrifying rule. If one launches a nuclear weapon, the other must immediately fire back. No questions, no hesitation, no second chances. The entire system depended not on peace, but on fear and speed. And on this night, that deadly system was about to be tested. Introducing the man deep beneath the Soviet Union, inside a highly classified military bunker, a quiet, disciplined officer named Stanislav Petrov was on duty. Petrov was not a politician, not a general, not even a famous commander. He was simply a watch officer. His job? To monitor the most advanced early warning computer system ever built, a system designed for one purpose only: detect American nuclear missiles. So the Soviet Union could retaliate before impact. Petrov had trained for years for this exact moment, but nothing in training prepared him for what happened next. The alarm suddenly, the silence of the control room shattered. Sirens exploded. Red lights flooded the walls. Officers jumped from their seats. The computer reported one nuclear missile launched from the United States. Seconds later, a second missile appeared, then a third, then a fourth, then a fifth. 5 nuclear missiles were now racing towards Soviet territory at 15,000 miles per hour. Petrov's hands began to shake. According to protocol, he had only one responsibility: confirm the detection, report to Moscow, trigger full nuclear retaliation. Once that call was made, there would be no stopping it. The impossible choice. Petrov stared at the screen. 5 incoming missiles. The computer insisted it was real, but something didn't make sense. If America were launching a nuclear war, why only 5 missiles? A real first strike would be hundreds, designed to wipe out the Soviet Union in seconds. His training screamed, "Trust the computer." His instincts whispered, "This is wrong." Every second of hesitation felt like an eternity. If he waited too long, if he was wrong, the Soviet Union could be hit without time to defend itself. Millions would die instantly, and yet, if he reported it and it was a mistake, he would trigger the end of the world. The room was silent. All eyes were locked on him, his career, his freedom, his life, and the fate of human civilization, now rested in the hands of one shaking officer. The decision. With sweat pouring down his face, Petrov made the most dangerous choice of his life. He lifted the phone, then quietly said, "False alarm." He broke protocol. He disobeyed his orders. He told Moscow that the attack was not real. No nuclear retaliation was launched. Now all they could do was wait. If Petrov was wrong, they would know in minutes. The longest 13 minutes in history, every second ticked louder than the last. The command room felt frozen in time. Officers stared at the radar. No one spoke. No one moved. If even one missile was real, radar stations would soon show impact. 10 minutes passed, then 11, then 12. Still nothing. Finally, the clocks passed the deadline. No explosions, no mushroom clouds, no apocalypse. The nuclear missiles never existed. The terrifying truth. Later investigators discovered the cause. The Soviet satellite system had made a fatal mistake. That night, the sun reflected off high-altitude clouds at a perfect angle, and the satellites mistook sunlight for missile exhaust trails. Nature itself had almost ended the world by accident. If Petrov had followed protocol, human civilization would likely have ended in 1983. What happened to Petrov, Stanislav? Petrov was never rewarded. Instead of praise, he was quietly removed from duty. No parade, no medals, no public recognition. For decades, almost no one knew his name. The man who saved the world returned home to live as a forgotten citizen. The final realization. Tonight, every moment of your life, every city on earth, every person alive, exists because one man chose to disobey a machine. History usually remembers kings and generals, but sometimes the fate of the world is decided by someone you've never heard of.